Roadcaster Pro 2 chat. Hello, hello. Is that any better? Oh, hello. Hang on. 1 minute. You can hear me now, can't you? I'm just looking at myself on stream to make sure the there you go. That's working now. Okay. Right. Just very, very quickly. Can you hear me now? Ooh. Is it any good? Am I back on? Right, that's good. Right, this is a test stream, everyone. It's a test stream. How do I get rid of that? 1 minute. This is a test stream. Oh, fucking, I'm blowing my own eardrums out here. I've got an annoying voice, haven't I? A test stream for a new bit of software because we've been using StreamYard now for 3 years. It's what we use to broadcast all you lot when we do live shows. It's been a nightmare for forever. So I've been looking at other bits of software and I'm trialing a new one tonight. And I thought, well, do you know what? Sod it. I'm just going to go live, see if it works. It didn't, but now it does. Is the video all good? I've got some bits and pieces that I want to talk to you all about as well, including some stuff. Well, look, we've heard about Lopetegui. You know, X has released his story now, hasn't he? Not his story. He's spoken to the senior source, and the senior source has said there's further pressure on Lopetegui. But what does that mean? What does that mean? I like this chat overlay thing. That's good. That's good. Can I still throw other comments up though? Like, hang on 1 minute. I'm going to click on one here. I've never used this software before. Use a lot of my guinea pigs. Hang on. Hang on. Does that work? Oh, yeah, look. So I can highlight comments as well. Ooh, this is good. What do you mean it's better without sound tone? It's not very fucking nice, is it? I ain't made of wood. I've got feelings. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have a go at connecting my phone. Because this is obviously on the Terraces channel, isn't it? So if anybody does want to phone in and have a chat with me, because I want to test this as well to see if this fucking works. It's all happening tonight. So bear with me. Bear with me. I'm going to get there in the end. Has that one worked? Hang on 1 minute. Let me just check. To make sure. Yeah, that works. Right, okay. I'm going to see if I can... I ain't even got a clue. I'll put a banner up. Right, hang on 1 minute. I'll put my number up. So if anybody does want to phone in, you'll be able to. Right, primary text. Call in. And phone number is 7. The whole world's got my number now. Hang on. Where are we? So where does that go? Oh, there you go. Call in. There's my number. If anyone wants to phone in for a chat, you can. Just to let me know what your thoughts are on this situation, because it's not getting any easier, is it? It's not.
Press well.
There we go. Hello, mate. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello, Matt. How you doing?
I'm good. Most importantly, I want to make sure that everyone else can hear you as well. So if any of you can't hear Adam, let me know. Because it worked first time on this software. That's good. That's good.
I just thought I'd get a quick call, mate. That's why. I just thought I'd test it out for you.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Right, did you go to Manchester today?
I did, mate. I'm here now still. I'm still here overnight.
Do you have a few beers?
Well, yeah, I might have had a few, but I've had a slap up meal, mate. A nice steak meal. It's beautiful.
Did you?
I did, mate. Yeah, I did.
Made the trip worthwhile.
I need something good, mate, after that shit show, to be honest.
What was it like in there? You know, did you have a good time? Because typically when you go away, I mean, at least you find the atmosphere is all right, and there's a bit of banter among the fans. You get that sort of gallows humour, don't you?
Well, I was with my mate who was a City fan, so I was in the City end, unfortunately.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. So it was quite brutal, but at the same time, I think they're just as bad as our fans, mate. I was sitting in front of the geezer, and he was talking about fucking shower trays and stuff like that behind me while the game's on. And I'm thinking, what are you fucking talking about?
Yeah, mate, it's quite.
No, I mean, it is, you know, and it's quite embarrassing, really.
I will say, it looked like there was an awful lot of tourists, and you could see that they was tourists by the part of the country that they're clearly from. And it was a lot of it looked like there was a lot of sort of Chinese, Korean people like that. Whenever the cameras panned around, there was large groups of people. So it looked like very, very tourist heavy in there.
Absolutely, mate. I've never seen so many people wearing half and half scarves in my life. It was dreadful, mate. Honestly,
Even at
there's
West
tourists
Ham
everywhere.
City, there was fucking half and half scarves, mate.
Everywhere, mate. Absolutely everywhere. Couldn't believe it.
What City fan would buy a half and half scarf of Man City and West Ham? Honestly,
I don't no idea, mate. But no, I mean, in terms of the game, mate, I don't know what people saw on TV, but from my point of view, mate, I thought we held our own pretty early on. You know,
first half was all right.
Up until obviously when they scored that lucky deflected goal.
Yeah.
We was doing all right, and we created chances. And the City fans that I was around was absolutely petrified of Kudus. Every time he got the ball on that right wing, they were scared of him, and they were saying that Vardiol wasn't covering him, and this, that, and the other, and was giving him too much space and all that lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then Lopetegui moved him to the right for a little bit, and
mate, I know.
I just thought, what are you doing?
I know.
What are you doing? And then and obviously then it went to shit after that, didn't it? So yeah, it was a good day, mate. To be fair, you know, it's nice to go out and see your team play. Although it wasn't great.
Would the fans get him frustrated with Kudus? Because I know he was a threat. Obviously, he was our main outlet along with Somerville. But do you know what, mate? Watching on telly, he really pissed me off. The geezer's just got. I said it earlier on. He's got no peripheral vision whatsoever. He's got blinkers on. He just gets his head down and he fucking runs at goal. He had quite a few opportunities where he could have slipped people in with a pass, and he just goes for goal every single time.
Yeah, I mean, there was opportunities where he could have done more with the ball, which obviously, you know, worked in City's favour because he didn't maximise his opportunity. But from a City fan's point of view, the fact that he had that space initially to begin with was what was worrying them.
Yeah.
And eventually, a player like Kudus, mate, with his ability, you know, if you keep giving him the ball, it only takes one moment where he's going to do something amazing, and then all of a sudden the game can change. You know,
it can. Did you leave that stadium? Because this happened to me, right? When I went to the home Man City game, I went to that one, and I left that game, and I was one of the fans thinking, "Oh, we lost 3-1, but you know we're turning a corner here. You know, we showed a lot of intent. You know, we done all right, and it all went to shit afterwards. You know, and obviously City are not as good as what we first thought. And the thing is, we lost 4-1 today, right? And we lost 5-0 last weekend, or whenever it was when we played Liverpool. I'm losing track. But that, for me, is a worse result because they are not currently a patch on the Liverpool team at the moment in terms of form. That City team were awful today. They weren't good. By City standards, they were awful. They're sort of dragging they're dragging their way through games on individuals in the same sort of way that we are, to a degree.
Yeah, I was sitting obviously next to my mate who's a City fan, and I said to him, I says, this is not a 4-1 game, this. Do you know what I mean? I says, you know, the scoreline flattered City. You know, I don't think they played particularly well. I don't think they needed to play well to obviously, you know, to win the game. But that's obviously down to us because we just didn't match them up in midfield. There was no fight, you know. But the last 20, 25 minutes of the game, that you probably see it yourself, it was a non-event. You know, nothing happened in that last 20-odd minutes.
Mate,
team.
It went to 4-0. We were 4-0 down 30 minutes from the end, and City were just happy to just ride it out from that point. West Ham were happy to not concede any more goals. You know, on a different day, against a different City, they keep on piling forward and trying to score more goals against us. That would have been a cricket score. For me, 4-1 is a battering against that team because I think it is a battering. I know we had good positive moments in the game. We scored a good goal as well. You know, it was good to see Fulkrug score actually, and I do think that was possibly his best performance for us. His link up play was good.
It was.
I mean, he's not a world beater, but he did prove today that if you give him fucking chances, he'll score goals.
Yeah, it was the best performance I've seen him play. You know, it was winning headers, it was flicking them on, and you know, the ball wasn't bouncing off of him. He was able to hold it up a little bit and, you know, and bring other players into play, which is what you want from a striker, and obviously score goals, which is what he did, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a strange game and a strange atmosphere, mate. You know, there was no expectations like you would expect normally with City and City fans that every time they're going to go forward, they're going to score a goal. There was none of that.
No.
You know, they seemed pretty grateful when they scored, and that kind of highlights that where they are, I suppose, as a club, that you know they are not as confident as what they were, you know, a few months ago.
They're not at all. Just very, very quickly, Thomas McAveer. This is the reason I've started this second channel up, because there's been so many naughty people that have been blocked from the channel over the years. This is your chance at redemption with Claret and Boost. So it's a clean slate. It's a clean slate. So I don't know what you were blocked for. Might have been nothing. Might have been one of the spanners getting spanner happy. But obviously, if you're well behaved for the next few months while we're in here, give us a shout and we'll unblock you on the other channel. We've got a lot of subs on there, but I've got a lot of block people as well, because I'm quite a polarising character and I piss a lot of people off. So I've got quite a big block list as well. It's never personal, never personal. But yeah, no, I think for me, mate, I don't know where the next win is coming from. I don't take anything from that game. I think there was a couple of Somerville was fantastic. He was, you know, him sort of closing the opposite. I mean that one where he sort of pounced on a Kanji and the referee gave a foul. He was gone. He was through on goal there. I thought that was sickening.
Never a foul, mate. Never a foul.
Never a foul. That was sickening.
And I'm in the City end, and I'm biting my lip, thinking to myself, I can't say fucking nothing here, because I wanted to turn around and like kick off because it wasn't a foul. And I know he's in on goal then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was quite frustrating. But at the same time, mate, you know, we had little moments in the game, but nothing really that was going to trouble them too much. I can't remember their keeper having to make any outstanding saves.
No.
We had opportunities where we could have potentially got, you know, created a better situation, which never materialised. How we've had 17 attempts on target, I don't know. I can't remember 17 attempts on target. To be honest,
we were shooting from everywhere. We were literally shooting from everywhere at one point. So yeah, at the end of the day, that for me, that game felt like a bit of a non-event, particularly in that second half. You know, like you said, once the fourth goal went in, we did get there. We got the consolation goal, but City stopped playing at that point. City stopped playing when they was 4-0 up. They did.
Yeah.
So yeah, like now we've got Villa on Friday, which could be the game that saves him, because we've all had the same message from I'm assuming from X and Sean. Sean saying that he's safe, he's not going anywhere. X has kind of reiterated that. Basically, they've reached out to Sullivan and they've asked him, you know what's going on with him, and he's basically come out and said, well, you know, he's really, really under pressure now. Fucking load of bollocks. Which means that he's getting the Villa game. Now, the Villa game is a match that we should be looking to win. Reason being, it's 50-50 whether or not they will be resting players for that game, because they've got some big Champions League games coming up. They're also pushing in the Premier League. The FA Cup ain't their priority this season. So that's not to say they're just going to hand it over. It could just be, you know, they've got a really good second string and they're going to give, you know, they'll just give some backup players a chance and they'll do well. I don't know. But it's a game. I don't think we're going to be playing a full tilt Villa. But you know what, mate? I still think that even not playing a full tilt Villa, I think we're going to get beat. I do. There was performances in that game. And against Liverpool from the likes of Kudus and today from Paqueta that we're probably not going to see on Friday against Villa. These were shop window games. Let's have it straight. They're shop window games. We're not going to get the same level of performances out of them on Friday night in Birmingham. It's not going to happen. I think we're going to get beat there, which is going to be a real crying shame, because Villa is a game that we could, if we were on song, because of the reasons that I just said, you know, it ain't their priority. We could go and fucking beat them, but we're not going to. And that's going to be so sad, because that's the last thing that there is to play for this season. And then they'll probably sack him, I imagine. That's what they'll do then. They'll get rid of him then when there is literally fuck all left this season for us. Nothing left.
But we know that situation, mate, you know, is done by design, isn't it? Let's be honest. You know, they've got no ambition. We know this, you know, and I wasn't. It could have been 10-0 today, mate, and I still wouldn't be expected to see you know, a statement to say that he's been sacked. I wouldn't have expected that, because I don't think that Lopetegui is going to get sacked unless we get knocked out of the cup. And I think David Sullivan is probably pinning his hopes on the fact that. Oh, sorry, mate, if you can hear in the background, I'm outside.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
yeah, I think David Sullivan's probably pinning his hopes on the fact that Villa's going to, put out a weak team and hope that we win. But anyway, Nick, I'm going to have to shoot, mate, because obviously I am out and about.
On,
I'm going to go and have a couple more beers, mate, and try and
go and have a good evening.
Forget about the game. So,
all right, mate. No worries, mate. Cheers for calling in anyway.
No worries, mate. Speak to you in a bit.
All right,
see
top
you
man.
later, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye, mate. Bye-bye.
Good call. Right, if anyone else does want to call in, you can. Right, so Big Phil, you're right, mate. The defence couldn't play against the Dog and Duck. They are awful. Max Kilman particularly. I mean, wow. This is reason again why you don't take the lead from a manager that's coming in. He weren't even supposed to be the fucking manager, was he? He was supposed to be the head coach. Why is that a say in the players that we're bringing in anyway? I don't know. But Kilman, he's been a massive problem. He's not a great centre back. I've said before, I think he's a good player. He can carry the ball. He's got a good pass on him and stuff like that. But he ain't great. He's not great at all. What does Cole say here? Cole says, when you can concede 3+ goals a game and 9 in the first half of the season, we are in big trouble, mate. Of course we are. We know we're massively in trouble, and I'm not convinced that we're going to get anything done. I mean, I'm gonna tell you now. I sort of let slip on stream earlier on about my confidence in us landing Duran. Yeah, the conversation that I've just had, we're not landing Duran. It's not going to happen. The club have got no intention of spending what's required to get that player. It's not going to happen. So we're not getting him. There's been other players that have been forwarded to the club as well. I know a lot of people are talking about Latte Lef from I was as well from Middlesbrough. Really, really good forward, up and coming forward, really young, rapid, top player. He's not tall enough. There's another striker that plays for Rennes. I'm going to let you know who he is. I had a look at him earlier on. He's got a fucking name. Hang on 1 minute. I'm sure it's Rennes. Of a similar profile. And he has been turned down as well by the club. So sort of offered to the club and turned down. And his name is Arnel Kalimwendo. Arnel Kalimwendo. Another one, 22, 23-year-old. Shit off a shovel. Really tricky. Great sort of finisher. Explosive. Exactly what we would need in that forward line. But, this is, again, the club thinking that they know best, and these are players that are getting offered. We don't learn. So the people that are offering the club, these players, are the same people that offered, to give you just most recently, I suppose, Morgan Rogers, Morgan Rogers and David Moyes didn't think he was worthwhile. Yusuf Fofana as well. Players of that ilk. We're constantly being offered good players. But what it comes down to at West Ham, and probably most clubs, it isn't down to getting the best player in. It's down to who can get that player in. By that, I mean, who's their agent. Yeah, I know he's a great player, Kalimwende, whatever his name is, but Will Salthouse saying his agent. Will, who you got, mate? You got anyone half decent? Yeah, we'll go for him. And we all know why that is. We do. It's just the way of the world. It's the way of the world. There's another player that we were linked with. I'm going to butcher his name now. This is going to be the next one that smacks us in the face, probably. So this one plays for Rim. Is it Reims? And his name is Emmanuel Agbadou. He is a centre back that was offered to West Ham before we signed Max Kilman and Todibo, and he would have been around about the 15 million mark. And the new Wolves manager that's just been put in place, the new Brazilian guy that's got them ticking straight away, top of his hit list. He's going to bring him in straight away. So we'll see how good he is. West Ham, the way we run business, every fucking deal is just. I can't see anything happening, is what I'm trying to say to you. I can't see anything happening. Personally, with Kudus at the moment, the way I'm feeling about Kudus, I would fucking sell him. Yeah, Agadoo, do. I would sell him and reinvest the money. But then again, I don't know that I trust them to reinvest it properly. We've just spent 150 million. We've made ourselves worse. How's that even possible? Do you know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. Really is like really bad when you think about it. Well, if anyone else does want to phone in and have a little moan, please do. But yeah, basically, Lopetegui is going to get the Aston Villa game. And then probably what will happen is we'll lose. It'll be really, closely contested, even if we lose it, because it'll be their second string team. And it'll be like, no, we played well against Man City and we saw more improvements against Aston Villa. Let's give him the Fulham game. And then what we've got is you've got Aston Villa on the 10th, you've got Fulham on the 14th, and you've got Palace on the 18th. You've got 3 games all 4 days apart. And players are starting to get injured. So we've got Bowen, he's out. He's not going to be fit for any of them. You've got Tadibo, who sort of limped out today as well, our better defender. So it's not looking good, Brev. It's not looking good. It's not. Mick Nardini says, young legs is what we need, not a 31-year-old Billy Bob tape. No, he's not. He's not. I'm just so frustrated because of the amount of players that we could have had. I hear an awful lot about players that get offered to the club, and the club do turn them down. They turn them down flat, and then the majority of these players turn out to be fucking good, and you just like, why? And the other thing that you hear as well is, do you know when we make bids for players, and it gets leaked? So say, let's talk about Duran. Let's just use Duran as an example. Let's say Duran's worth, I don't know, or not worth. Let's say Aston Villa want 50 million for Duran, and they're not going to take a penny less because somebody else has bid the same amount. Sullivan will get that message and he'll go, table this bid, 42 million. That's what he'll say. Table that bid. And then he'll say, I've bid for Duran. We'll think, oh, we've bid for the player. But he knows it's never going to get accepted. He knows. It's all smoke and mirrors. All of it is. I don't know what's going to happen now. It's so boring, isn't it? It's so boring. We were talking about this earlier on. How can you get to a stage where you kind of don't really care anymore? I think it was like Happy and Amanda were saying that on the WhatsApp. And I said, I think it's like a collection of things, isn't it? I think like as a fan base, we know that the season is dead. We know that we've got a manager that's walking the longest green mile ever, but it's inevitable. He's going to go. We know this. So we've got a manager that ain't going to be here. We know that we've got a chairman who is more likely to repeat the same mistake that he made in the summer as opposed to fix it and go and get someone else in that's going to take us in a different, more positive direction. We know that as well. We're almost going to have to be lucky to get something good out of Lopetegui going. But most importantly, I think what does, certainly for me, and this is why I'm starting to turn on Kudus a little bit, even if it ain't the player's fault, I'm really starting to resent these fucking players because one thing that distances me from a team, when I said earlier on, I'm sitting there, I'm feeling nothing. I felt like one of them fans with a half and half scarf. One of the things that really does me is when you're watching a team, your team, and you know that there's a load of players there that don't want to be there. That for me, that provides a massive fucking disconnect for me as a football fan. And I do know, like, it goes back to what John said. This is what happens. This is what you get when you place no faith or you place no importance in homegrown players and people with a connection to the club, people with a connection to the fans. When things are going bad, there's nothing. You've got nothing. Everyone's fucking. And this is a trouble. This is the main issue with it all. I think it's just fucking miserable, isn't it? That is how I feel anyway. So what you're saying, Brighton was unlucky tonight. They were not giving the Gonads any respect. No, but they don't. And this is the thing. This is what you hear a lot of. I've seen comments tonight on my video. Oh, come on, Nick. They're Man City. That's how the comments started. I didn't read the rest of it. Did Ipswich... Who did Ipswich think they were beating Chelsea last week? Who did Palace think they were getting the equaliser and drawing with Chelsea? You know, who did Brighton think they were? Going and getting a draw against fucking Arsenal. You know, what did you think of the penalty? By the way, for me, I think it might be because I've got an irrational hatred of Arsenal. I think it was a penalty personally. It fucking nutted him. I know there's different angles where in some angles it looks bad, some angles it looks good. Not looks good, but looks fine. But for me, he's thrown his head at the ball, missed the ball, caught the player. It's a fucking headbutt in the box. Whether it's intentional or not, or aggressive play, whatever else, it's irrelevant. He still nutted. It's a foul, isn't it? If you nut someone, it's a foul, surely. Look what happened to Fabianski. Right, let's go through some of these. We've got New York Hammer. Jimmy was more profound today by... Do you know what he was, wasn't he? Watching that game today, that made me angry in itself. Do you know that? Watching Somerville, that made me angry. Because you're sitting there thinking, you're watching this kid, literally fucking the most explosive forward player that we've got on the pitch today. And you think, how the fuck has he not been playing? How has he not been in that team? And he's only in the team now because Bowen's injured. It's just fucked, isn't it? It's so fucked. I mean, any of those teams at the bottom of the league, you're talking Southampton, Leicester, Ipswich, probably Everton. Any of them would like our forward options. They'd like a Kudus, a Somerville or a Bowen. Give them any one. They'd all love it. Right, what else we got? So we got Ted the Hammer. He says he bets if Sullivan sacks Loppy, Sullivan will come out and say, now we have no money for transfers. This is something else that people have said as well, and I don't put it past Sullivan, and that is the fact that Sullivan is going to burn the transfer window before he sacks Lopetegui so that he can use the fact that we had Lopetegui as a reason why we couldn't get any players, and he can use the fact that the transfer window's closed now as a reason why we can't bring any new players in to the new manager. It could be that as well. But then what new manager at that stage is going to take the job? Then you would imagine that somebody, be that Potter or anyone, would want to be given something in January. Do you know what I mean? Red card. I'm with you, Phil. I'm with you all day long, mate. All day long. I thought it was a red. Mr. Hammer, Bournemouth, Brighton and Brentford put to shame. Although I haven't said that, I don't know whether it was a red because I don't feel like it was intentional. It weren't intentional. So I'm going to take that back. It weren't a red, but it was a foul. It was a penalty. Definitely a penalty for me. Mr. Hammer says, Bournemouth, Brighton and Brentford put to shame everyone outside the top six how to run a football club. There's a lot of them, mate. What about Nottingham Forest? What about Newcastle? What about Villa? What about Fulham? There's a lot. There's a lot of teams that are good. We're one of the shit teams now. We're like the I don't even know what we are. We're in a league of our own because we're in a part of the fucking table where people don't really spend that much money. We spend as much money as a top six, but we're shit. We're shit. We'll probably go and spend a load of money again. I just don't think we will in this window. I do genuinely think that what they've done is they've sat down and they've discarded and they've written off this season. I think they have. They probably think, what's the point? You know, we'll just ride it out. It'll be all right. Well, I don't think the fans are going to feel like that. I don't think they are. So Aiton Bru Iniesta says, I said weeks ago, Jimmy is a better left winger than Kudus. Yeah, he is, mate. He definitely is. Well, he's a left winger for a fucking start. Do you know what I mean? Kudus hates being out there, so why keep putting him out there? I know he's a good player, but... so Mavroponi and Kilman in the back line against Villa. Yeah, it's all right. That's all right. What's happened to Mavropanos? Do you not feel sorry for him in the slightest? I just don't think he's as talented as the rest of the centre-backs, right? I think he needs a bit more protection. Our defenders don't get much by way of protection. They don't. I mean, they had more today, to be fair, because we was playing in a bit of a low block. I thought we was anyway. Oh, frogging a well. It is a disgrace that Somerville hasn't been starting, mate. It really has. That's the thing. He is a grafter. He don't stop fucking running. And do you know what? That's the one thing that you want. You know me, Laura. I'm a big thing. I said this in the WhatsApp group earlier. I'm massive on flair. Like, I love flicks and tricks and stuff like that. But you know what? I'm starting to get sick of these fucking players now. I'm starting to get sick of football. I want to see a crunching challenge. I want to see when we're up against it, someone get fucking clamped. That's what I want. You know, like Haaland, as big as he is, I saw once Kilman go in and put Haaland on the floor. I want my centre-back to be fucking going right through the back of him early on. You know, I'm not saying get booked, but fucking put your stamp on him. Let him know that he ain't going to have an easy time of it. I just, midfield battles as well. I know it's a bit difficult now because, even I like it when Alvarez does that. But this is the other thing as well. Alvarez ain't as good at the moment. You do realise that we've taken the Julian Dix out of Julian Dix with Alvarez. He's now scared to make a challenge. That is what's happened. He doesn't really make the challenges anymore. He's hesitant. Alvarez is a full-blooded player, sees it. He's now going against his instincts. He's standing off and he's not jumping in. So now people are just sort of gliding past him. What was making Alvarez so good was the fact that he was fearsome. But you can't be fearsome anymore because football's like fucking watching dancing now. You just got to watch these little tarts fucking dancing about on the ball doing step-overs, but you can't fucking get too close to them in case you're treading them with their stupid fucking boots on because their feet break. Bowen, put leather boots back on. I'm not a fan of these boots. I manage my boys' team. I see these new boots. They're thin as fuck. You might as well be running on that pitch barefoot. It's mad. It's madness. Right, where are we? So, Paul Evans. We don't win any game. Mate, do you know what? I said it as soon as I saw it with Soufal in that lineup. Look, I'm not even going to have a go at him, yeah? Not too much. Because that ain't his fault. He's getting older and he ain't quick. And we're putting him up against that Savinho. You could just see what was going to happen. You could see it. Pep would have seen that. He'd have been rubbing his fucking hands together as soon as the team sheet was released. Whereas if you had Wan-Bissaka out on the right hand side, that would not have happened. He wouldn't have got absolutely rinsed and left for dead like he did with Soufal for that second goal. It was so poor. Alex says, I miss the sort of tackles Dawson put in, mate. That's what I want now. I've had me fill of flicks and tricks. I want some bastards back in my team. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you can't do that in the Premier League no more. Maybe football's just changed permanently and it's just fucking two-touch tick-attacker now. Who wants to watch that shit? It just bores me. I mean, I like it, but I like everything about football. The aggression and the passion side of it is a massive part of it for me. And, I said earlier on, for that Haaland's second goal, where first of all he lost Kilman, and then Kilman's chasing him back, and he's got that moment where he's trying to sort of half-heartedly block the shot. If that's Dawson, he's throwing everything in between Haaland and that keeper to try and block that shot. Everything, you know. I just don't know how. I don't know how these fucking. Don't know what's going on with football. Zinksy says, Nick, I don't know if you noticed, but this isn't the first time. But Kudus loses a ball and does it all the time. He does it all the time. He does. He sort of sulks. Oh, I've lost the ball. Oh, fuck it. That really annoys me. The body language pisses me off. Now, look, I do love Kudus as a player, and I'm very grateful for the year that we had with him last year. You know, he kind of did sort of, his goals dragged us through last year. He really, really helped us. A lot of our entertainment came from Kudus last year. That's one fucking season, man. And it weren't like, we didn't win. It weren't an outstanding season, was it? Let's face it. Far from it. It was miserable. But no, I don't know. I think maybe we might have been getting a bit carried away with Kudus and his talent levels. That said, he'll probably go to fucking Liverpool and be amazing, won't he? Espen Bayer says all the teams having leapfrogged us in That's the other thing as well, Espen, in terms of teams that have leapfrogged us. I mean, you think do you remember back when Gerrard was Villa manager? You know, they've left us behind. Newcastle, Fulham have left us behind. They've all left us behind. We've got so much work to do. I know we have got good players, and we genuinely have. I just think that it's such a fucking mess now. I wouldn't want that job now for whoever's got to come in because I think it's a thankless task. You know, Mick Nadini says like Paqueta, he blows hot and cold. Yeah, he does, but don't they all? Who doesn't blow hot and cold? Bowen ain't been great this year. He's not. I mean, he's got 9 GA, but he ain't been like I wouldn't say he's been amazing all season. He really ain't. You know, a lot of people have been slating him, saying he's a poor captain and There ain't really anyone who's shone this year apart from Soppy Bollocks, Suchek, because he's bar so low, it ain't difficult for him to, it's just fucking hell. I can't stand him. Right, so what we got here? Gaza says he's not angry anymore. I don't deserve my anger. I'm beginning to not be bothered. I know. That's what I told myself before the Liverpool game, and then I exploded again. It's never gone. It's never dead. We never stop caring. Something will happen, and you'll explode again because we get apathetic towards it. Unfortunately, it's ingrained in us. It's in our DNA. As much as we want to deny it, so I don't care anymore. I'm not bothered. We do, of course, we do. I just think that probably what's happened this season is we're fed up as fuck. We're really depressed with it. We're not enjoying watching this team. We're not enjoying watching a team full of overpaid bastards that don't want to be here, run by an absolute clueless dickhead who's managed by an absolute dickhead. The whole thing's a mess, but wouldn't take much to get us all, back on board. It would take when you consider we've got Sullivan in the mix. It is a lot. It is a lot. Hammers Mikey. Too many old players. Fucking right there are. Hammers Mikey says, get envious watching some of these smaller teams and the way they play. Forest, yeah, I know. They play proper football, don't they? It's explosive. It's like, did you watch the not Nottingham Forest, the Newcastle Spurs game earlier on? That was end to end. So people like the Spurs fans are complaining about Ange. Every game's fucking exciting. I know they get beat a lot, but every game is exciting. No game's boring. No game is boring. It's fast for a start. So the football is at a high tempo. It's quick. What I can't stand about West Ham, about Moyes and about Lopetegui in particular, is the way they try and slow the game down to a fucking walking pace. Why? The idea in football is to get the ball down the other end as quick as you fucking can and score. That's what I think anyway. It is, I've often said, like, when Man City and Liverpool are sort of, at their best, because Man City are a build-up team and they do it amazingly well when they're on song. But the way that Liverpool play, I much prefer because they're almost like a counter-attacking team, Liverpool, aren't they? They get that ball and then it's fucking just go, go, go. Everyone just sprints at the goal en masse. And I think that's the way football should be played. I really do. Kevin says, are these people running the club? Yeah, I think that if they was on something like that, we might get some better decisions. I've got QPR supporters taking the piss out of me now. That's bad, Phil. When QPR fans are taking the piss out of you, give them some blue cheese. That's what I'd do. Give them some blue cheese, Phil. John says, I truly believe one of the biggest issues at the club is the substandard. Yeah, it's not. I mean, that's just it's just a piss take now, isn't it? I mean, they've been at this club now. How long is it? Is it 14 years now? And we're still playing in that poxy training ground. We've still got porter cabins. It's ridiculous. We've got to have the worst facilities in the top two flights. I bet you the majority of clubs in the Championship have got better facilities than us. I bet they have. It must make a difference. That's their workplace, the players. That's where they spend the majority of their time. So it must make a fucking huge difference if you got if all the people they know are playing at these clubs where they got all these fucking space age facilities and everything else. The main thing I care about is a fucking stadium. No, it just drives me mad. Thomas McAveer says you just expect it now. Yeah, you do. You do. Hang on. He'll bottle and throw the cup game same as before. I don't think he can now, mate. I think he's going to see this one as a massive opportunity for himself if he's got half a fucking brain. He'll see this as an opportunity playing a team that are probably going to not throw the game, but field a weakened team. The man's desperate for a win now. He'll be looking at this upcoming run thinking, oh, fucking hell, where's the wins coming from? Like I said, you got Villa on the 10th, you got Fulham on the 14th, you got Palace on the 18th. 4 games, 4 days apart between each of them. I mean, they're both at home, Fulham and Palace, but I don't think it really matters. I think Fulham beat us. Palace could be the one that we either win or get a draw. I don't think we're getting fuck all out of Fulham. Nothing. Even if we beat Villa, Fulham are beating us. They are. Right, so what we got here? I didn't know there was a show tonight, so just clicked on. Yeah, no, it's this is a test show, mate. It is a test show. I'm just fucking about with some new software. What do you is this working all right for you? Does this work okay? Do you like having the comments on screen and stuff like that on the right hand side? I quite like it, to be honest, because sometimes what does happen, the chat's over on the right hand side. The only thing is, it can be a little bit dangerous, I suppose, sometimes if people start saying bad things in there because it's too late. It's on screen. It's being streamed. But I quite like it because I can actually see. I feel like I'm part of your conversation doing it this way. It's quite good. Happy says, I don't think it'll make much difference now if Floppy goes. Nah, I don't think so. The team don't, do they? That's the really. That's. That's the thing. I don't even think I'm starting to feel like it's not even just Loppy now, though. I feel like it's gone again, like it did with Moyes. I feel like it's gone a little bit too far for a lot of these players now. Not that couldn't be changed around. If you went and got the right man in, a right inspirational character, that could change it, couldn't it? That could change it. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, look, it is getting late. Thank you very much for being my guinea pigs tonight. I like this software. I think we're going to use this moving forwards. I think we're going to use this. So yeah, I'm glad you like the format. And we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back to Sunday night. Probably using this. Yeah, that's it. I'm tired now. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gibbering. All right. I don't actually know how to end the stream, so maybe I ain't going yet. Hang on. There we are. End stream button. Right, do me a favour, drop a like before you go if you can. And yeah,